Hi, I'm Alex Paulton. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Talking Timepieces, where we talk about watch collecting and horology. Today, I wanted to finally do a review of my Montblanc Nicolas Reiussec Chrono GMT. I've had it now for several months, and it really is a nice watch. It really does wear well. It looks good. And because of its history and its functionality, it's a little bit of a conversation piece as well. I believe Montblanc really tried hard with this piece to get respect from the industry, because there are a lot of companies that make luxury and fashion goods, but Montblanc is known for making precision instruments in its own right, and I think they wanted to be respected for watches as much as they're respected for pens. So let's turn the camera around and take a look at this really sharp-looking watch. Here's the Montblanc Nicolas Reiussec Chronograph GMT. Very nice piece. Some companies, they make watches and they just, make watches. Like, for example, Gucci makes expensive pieces, but they're not known for their horological chops. Or fashion brands like Michael Kors, or popular brands like Fossil and Hugo Boss. Those are all companies that make decent pieces. I mean, an over-the-counter quartz watch is going to serve you well regardless of whose name is written on it, but some of those fashion brands, some of those popular brands really do make nice pieces. And Montblanc could have gone that route. Montblanc could have made this just a nice looking watch that they could sell in duty free next to their other products. But a lot of people forget Montblanc is known for making precision devices. I mean, a fountain pen is not an easy thing to make. It requires precision machining, it requires artistry, it requires attention to detail, and Montblanc has a reputation for making good writing instruments. So when they decided to go make watches, they felt that they needed to achieve at least that level of respect in the horological space that they have in the writing space. I don't know what the fancy collector's word for that is. So when they made this watch about a decade ago, and it's still available, you can get it for about $8,500 at retail. Used, you could probably pick it up for around $5,000. So that's a good place to get it, because these are really good watches. And if you buy it on the used market, you're going to get yourself a really great watch. I would have it checked, because it is a complex movement, which is one of the things about it. Montblanc did this. Was their first in-house. It came out a little over a decade ago. And they really swung for the fences, and they hit it over the fence, because it is a 44 jewel GMT column wheel vertical clutch mono pusher chronograph. In fact, let me wind it up a little bit. The one thing about it, it doesn't have a running seconds hand, which always bugs me, but since it has a display back, that doesn't matter. You can just look and see it running. Now, one of the interesting aspects about the chronograph is that it is named after Nicolas Reiussec, who invented the chronograph, actually the stopwatch basically, and he originally used rotating discs on his chronograph because he used it for horse racing, and this allowed you to make a mark with a pen on the chronograph when the horses crossed the finish line. There was a button on the box you pushed, and it would mark the disc. So that's why the term was literally chronograph, time writer, because it wrote time. Now, other aspects about it is, as I was saying, not only is it a top-of-the-line mono pusher chronograph, it is also a GMT, a travel GMT with a very, very nice display to show home time and local time. And this is a day-night indicator window, which is balanced, of course, by the date window. It has very, very beautiful symmetry. And the Côte de Genève wave on the bottom plate. They really, really wanted to emphasize that this is a horological piece and not just something with a name on it. Like, if you think about it, most GMTs are either a pointer GMT, or in the case of even something as fancy as the IWC Saint-Exupéry, it's in a little window. Whereas when it's not being used as a GMT, both times are set for the same time, and you still have the window in the face. Whereas with the Montblanc, when it's not being used as a GMT, you can't even tell it's a GMT. It's just a really elegant presentation. I mean, Montblanc's not the only one to do that, but the fact that they are really shows you how well they thought this out. Now, let's take a quick look at it from the rear. People are always concerned about this little stand I use. It's not magnetic. There's a little, it's a sticky pad, and this is aluminum, so there's no way the aluminum can scratch the steel. So it's not in danger also, but I do appreciate people who worry about that. But this is a beautiful, because this is a beautiful watch, and it would be a shame to scratch it. It's got a very nice single deployant, well made, right? And let's throw it back on the stand for a second. Actually, let me take the buckle out. Oops, where do we? Yeah, here we are. And there's that beautiful, beautiful movement. And as you see, they weren't skimping at all on that movement. It's a full bridge, free sprung balance. The complexity is just gorgeous. The way they give it kind of a layer cake look there with the gearing, and the rotor is very nice, and it lines up with the column wheel at the right angle, so you can see the column wheel. It's just an elegantly done piece. It's very obvious that they didn't just make this to say, hey, okay, we made a chronograph, we're done. They really, really swung for the fences with this. And I think they hit a home run, because it is just a beautiful watch, well made, top of the line mechanism, and it really is an in-house movement. Let's take a look at it on the wrist. Really, really well executed piece. Wristwatch check, wearing my Air King. Also a nice piece. Have a review of this in the archive. Take a look. And I got to put it back on the buckle. Totally worth your time, and definitely a watch that would do well in your collection. Thanks for watching. If you really liked it, please subscribe. Tell your friends. Have a great day. So that was the Montblanc Nicolas Reiussec chronograph, GMT, column wheel chronograph, vertical clutch. Beautiful piece, well executed, and definitely worth your time. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.